So many people out there, like they have nothing more than they're a t-shirt brand. There's nothing more to them. I'm from Delhi, so I'm just maintaining my reputation.
Hi guys, and welcome to Projekt Streets into Toffle Q&A session. Don't even think I need to introduce Kashish, but he's a very good friend now, and he's so nice and so so soft-spoken that sometimes I feel like, okay, I should keep quiet a bit.
I'm from Delhi, so I'm just maintaining my reputation.
What was the idea behind Toffle and why call it Toffle?
I was into design. I was into understanding how things work, how an engine works, how the internet works. That's why I got into engineering. And then I realized, there I met my co-founder, Bridge, and I saw how hardworking and passionate he was, and that's how it was supposed to be. And then I realized, it's not my cup of tea. I've learned everything I could there, but it's time to move on and find something else. And then he was also pretty bored with what he was doing, and he dropped out. I went back and finished my college. But we came here, we started doing. We wanted real world experience, like how things work in real life, how market works, and what it's like to interact with people, and all of that. Started off with a couple of app-based startups, and we realized it's one thing to figure out things, sitting in a room, discussing with your friend, finding problems and trying to solve them. But it's completely different when you actually meet people and talk to them. Sometimes they're not ready, sometimes they don't want it. It's fine. There's a thing called unnecessary solutions. To
A lot of problems.
So we figured that, and then we we didn't plan this, but almost moved into trading. And that worked. We were at a point. I think we became a little desperate because there's a thing in India. It's very different from other places. It's not what you want to do, but it's mostly why.
Why?
Why? Because the first thing that comes to mind in every household is the stability, and they want their kids to have a better future. Yeah, a good future. They should be on the laptops, the Macs, proper cubicles, the AC are running and everything, and not running around the markets and just figuring out things on their own.
Stability is always more important than trying to first become stable, then
and do anything you want. You should have a stable source of income, so to sustain you, and then you can try with them. So the only plus point I had was, I think, that we were still in college, so we had 2 years to experiment and figure out. And then we became a little desperate to find something that worked, and this was 2016, so it was way before any of this really started or picked up. And I remember when we started, it was 2017 when we started trading. Then we got bored with the products that we had, because we could only pick what the market had to offer and supply it to other retail stores. Pretty B2B thing. And then when we got bored, we were continuously also learning about the streetwear scene and the brands, and why Supreme can slap their logo on a t-shirt and sell it for so much, and why it's rare, and what they have done, which is so significant that even a proper heritage brand collaborates with them. I mean, they were just, I think, 18, 20 years old back when they had this collaboration. So it was a big thing. So my growth started from there, from learning about these guys and what they have done and how. And then slowly we designed a few things, and it was outsourced. The production was outsourced, and the market took it really well. Everyone, I'm saying the market, but back then it was just people. Right? There were just very few people who knew us from those days. I think last year I got a message from this guy who said, "I remember that you came to deliver that T-shirt because I was the delivery guy for Toffle initially for initial 2-3 months when we had that inventory with us because it was important for me to also see because the delivery guys are the face of the brand in a way, like they are the ones who interact with the customer when you deliver something. So I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to know what it's like, what the customer is experiencing. And because I had this option with them that if you don't like it, I would carry like 2-3 sizes with me. If you don't like it, if there's a size issue, you can just take something else.
Like proper door-to-door sales.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much that.
And I think they didn't have these aggregators with shipping as well. They had these big companies, FedEx and Delivery and all these, and you needed like proper company registrations and GST numbers and all of this to go through to make an account with them. So I think that gave this push. And eventually then we realized how big, like how painful getting your stuff outsourced is, like how production manufacturers never work on time, how they don't care with small MAQs, which I think a lot of people still face. So that brought us to setting up our own space with one tailor, like 2-3 machines, and we started in my house itself, like my room. And then we slowly, like, I think that gave us a lot of time and freedom to like make anything we wanted. So we made like a lot of these products that you see are very different from what any other brand is doing. The reason is because we had that much time to experiment. We had that much time to really get to know the fabrics because I'm somebody who never bought for myself before I started this. Nothing. Like my mom would get me everything and I would just wear. Like, I would just like it comfortable, but that's it. And then I got to know why and how. Like there's a proper explanation for everything. The GSM that you use, now people fancy 240 GSM ka t-shirt. They ask for it. Now, the guys who I was getting my fabrics from, it's such a compact market, and they are so far behind, like where the scene is, like and forget streetwear, like anything in general, yeah. And they would put up stories like we have streetwear fabrics, 240 GSM, single jerseys, and all of that. So it was just that's how much people are looking for it, and so on. Like after that, it's just been an exploration. I did a lot of things to experiment to find my brand language and what I would fit in, like what I should do, which would like differentiate Toffle for the longest run.
Yeah, because you're here to stay, not like something that just gets hyped for a brief period of time and then it's like, people don't remember that brand anymore. But unlikely that's never going to be the case with Toffle. So that's really something
I hope
right?
so. Now we are also like trying. I think I don't get any pleasures from like fulfilling the orders. I get my kick from making something new, like the idea.
The design, the creativity is what is driving you. Yeah.
The translation that happens, like from a thought to a sellable product. Something which like it still makes me happy, like how something that I've created, people would like buy it and wear it and enjoy it. So that's cool. Like I've never thought of it like I'm selling Toffle. Like I'm selling Toffle merch or like Toffle products. It's more about like the story of that one particular product. Yeah. So that's been the thing, and I think as long as that exists, Toffle will always have something new to say or to offer. So that's my way of like keeping it relevant.
But why did you choose the name Toffle? Is there a story behind that?
No. So Toffle as a word, like this is, it's easier to connect the dots when you've already done it, like when you've moved forward. So Toffle as a word doesn't exist, doesn't mean anything. When we were in college, there was just this exam. It was spelled differently, but very TOEFL, it's an English exam that you, yeah. And so I just corrected, I liked the word, I liked the sound of it, I just corrected the spelling to like a much easier thing. And coming from an engineering background, I think this sound of Apple, Oracle, all of these, so these things like, and it's a nice, sweet sound.
Coffee also.
Or so many people like who were confused because our earlier font used to be like that.
Look like an E, so they said, "Oh, I want to wear toffee."
Yeah. still happens sometimes, so you have to be careful of that.
Nice. And so, since we are talking about the market and stuff, what's your take on the current streetwear industry in India? Where do you see it going? And anything that you like to share from your journey so far? Because Toffle has been in the game for the longest.
I think when we started, when we started, we didn't know any other brand. I think there were a few who were doing something. They were design labels. They were not boosting them, like calling themselves streetwear brands either. We started off as like proper streetwear brands itself. Like we started calling us that, and I think when after 2018, I think we started seeing a lot of brands. And even then, till 2019, I could still count the brands on my fingers, and I knew like all of them. But I think post-COVID, it's been a drastic jump. Like now I don't know like how many brands there are. Now it's very difficult.
Yes. I'm telling you the numbers.
Okay. But I wish like it's important because it's not a volume business. Right, and it's not like it's a value-based business. I had the toughest time trying to explain my family, like this is not a volume business. Like it's about the value. It's about how much, because I give like a lifetime warranty with all my products. Like I'll take care of it. I want you to take care of it. I don't want you to like buy every week. Like stay with it. And I think that's what because I've met a lot of people, and I asked them like, why do you want to do this? And they always tell me like. Most of them see this as purely from a business perspective, and that's a different approach. There's nothing wrong with it, but then their journey is very different, and what they try to do is also very different. The problems that they face is also very different. I can't yes, and also like I can't help them. Like I can't comfort them with anything because their problem is different, and they're trying to build something else. Completely, and they don't understand. Like you have to be. I think the best advice. I've been saying this for a long time. When there were Indian brands who would put their logo on their T-shirt and try to sell it back in like 2019 and 20, and I would like openly say it like this is the. I mean now people do look up to you guys as well, right? So because we are sort of like the what is it called the first guys to do it. First movers. So like people will look up to you and ask you, right? So you have to be, you have to, have a different say than this. Like you can't just start a brand, come up with a cool name, put it on a T-shirt and try to sell it, and then be sad that it doesn't work. I mean, because there's a thing. Like if you see LV or Prada or some brand, and if you see it from a competitive point of view, and you see like I will also make this a brand and I will like try to compete with them. In your heart, you would know that you cannot do it. Okay, you know it will take you a lot of time, all of that, right? But when you see a Supreme T-shirt, this used to happen with like so many people. When they see a Supreme T-shirt, they're like, oh, it's a white T-shirt. There's a logo. I can also do this. I can also, become this brand. That's how they used to see it. So now it's not about that. Any person who's starting out, and I've seen a few, so I'm very happy. Try to bring something new, like bring your perspective. Doesn't matter how much sales you make. Build the brand, like build a name for yourself. Let your product speak for itself. Invest time there. Like how much time it takes doesn't matter. Like it's not a race, it's your own journey. And I think that's the best they can do. There are a few who have done that. One more thing, like don't get cocky. Doesn't matter how big you become, how small you are, how great your products are. Be nice. Be nice.
Doesn't come naturally, na, to people.
It should.
But it doesn't. Like they
It's
say, no success does.
No, it's
not
the
something
easiest
that
thing.
Everybody's meant to handle, right?
I mean, what success? So I had this experience.
For them, they think they are successful.
There's also this one thing. just remembered. The biggest problem today is like there are so many magazines and so many people ready to talk about, so many articles written about top 5 streetwear brands and top new streetwear brands and all of that. And the moment you start your brand and you come up with this something, and if you're ready to source your products to every XYZ who wants to do a shoot and return it, like people will write about you because they need content. It's not because they're trying to help you like directly. I mean, of course it does help you, but it's not their primary goal. It's because they also need content for their own thing. That happens, and like I know like big magazines and like those guys, and on their Instagram page, on their website, they put it up. And the second that happens, like so many people feel like, oh, we have arrived and we have gotten the validation we were looking for. I think your sales will tell you when you have arrived. Okay, I think the amount of love that you get from people will tell you when you have arrived. So I think that was our biggest thing. Like when we started, there was nobody writing anything about streetwear. Nobody knew the word streetwear. So we kept, and we didn't have the best time at the business. Like we kept putting in the money we made because it's not a funded business. It's not, right. We are all bootstrapped from scratch. Yeah. So we kept putting it back, and we kept figuring out like, what do we do that makes thing like, run on its own? Like what do we do?
That autopilot mode.
Yeah. So I think that helped us grow significantly in terms of designs. I'm not talking about like commercials. I'm talking about design and like all the work that we put in.
Journey to make Toffle what it is today. Yeah. So that's there. But any advice to, like, I mean, you've already said it, but for the people who are going to listen, anything that you want to share from your journey so far, and when they're starting out a brand, how should they approach it? Because sometimes people don't really know what is the right way to approach. They try to follow the crowd, or they try to see what's online already, like the kind of content that's there. Usne ye kiya, maine ye kiya, I should try to do the same thing. So they lack some sort of guidance, or how to find that path you're calling, basically. Anything like you can just give a piece of advice.
I think it's a long game. You should remember it'll take some time, and I don't know, like it's very different for different people. Like so, I know so many people will not agree with this. You should sales and your money should be priority, and I understand that. Like I'm not an idiot. I'm not asking you not to look at your commercials. I'm not asking you that growth or opening stores is a wrong thing, right? Do you do that? It's important, but don't lose that creativity. Don't lose that. So many people out there, like they have nothing more than they're a t-shirt brand. There's nothing more to them. Okay, and why? Because that's all they know. Because the t-shirt is the easiest commodity that moves, and that does numbers for you. And it's sort of like Reg and I were having a word, and he said something which has stayed with me. He said like, it's very personal between us. So he said like, you should, I'm trying to filter it. No, he said you should feel ashamed if these guys call themselves streetwear brands.
No applause for that. It's true. Other zero. But that's true.
And as a business, it's always like a growing thing. Like you need, and I've realized this, you need different skills to come from 0 to 1. And then you need completely different skills to go from there. Yeah, and we're there. So we are at 10, maybe we're not at 1 anymore, and we're trying to get to 100. And our journey is different. We see things differently. Like I'm not sitting here to make 20 crores. Yeah, I'm not sitting here. And this is, I would like to tell you this, because I mean, a lot of people might have this image, okay, this brand doesn't care about money, or this brand does not care about business. We do. We just have different goals. We don't feel entertained with the kind of numbers that you hear about, and we don't put it out. Like we don't believe in like fake it till you make it wala concept. It's just like a very small example for anybody who's starting out would be, I think a brand would make a lot of money when they start. There's a reason why we don't do pop-ups or we don't do fashion shows. Because the purpose of fashion shows is to get you B2B buyers. Doesn't happen in India. Okay, there is some, okay, I don't want to comment on like what happens at fashion shows, but when we have said no to...
He's really stressed.
I'm not stressed, I'm like...
Just like monitoring the words.
Yeah.
Like, I won't leak the recording.
Okay. But then I think the purpose is ki, you know, somebody, you have so many stores all over the world and they are interested in keeping your brand there because they don't know you. Okay, you can't keep selling your t-shirts on your face value. Let's settle this. Okay, let's believe in this. Okay, it's not gonna work. It can work in India, it can work in Mumbai, it can work in Delhi. Doesn't work outside. They don't give up anything. Okay, who you are, what you do, what your name is. Doesn't matter. So many people are trying to build it with just their name, with just their fonts, with just their monotonous designs. Has to move ahead. Okay, I'm sure, hope they are, I mean, all of us are moving in that direction. But to me, let's say there's some guy who has a store in Japan or any place where, you know, it's very hard to actually make it. Has a store, multi-brand store in Japan, like this store itself, like Projekt Street. And they see your t-shirt, okay, and they don't know you, they don't know your brand, they don't know your numbers, nothing. They see the product and they believe, I want this product in my store. And they give you like an order for next year from your collection and get like a heavy amount and keep it with them to sell and to introduce to their audience. I mean, that is success. That is step one. Okay, so I think we should, I mean, that's my direction. That's where I am going. I hope this helps out, give you some perspective towards that direction. Otherwise, you can just keep on doing what you do. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone has their own journey.
Yes. You guys want to ask him something? You have any questions?
New drops. Yeah, man. I think this month we have a lot of things going on. We have been this is the first time we have built a team. Okay, isse pehle it was just me and Pidge who were taking care of everything. Now we have a proper team. We have a much bigger space. We have all these guys who are working on like their own thing. We have divisions. We are making sneakers. Yeah, we are making all the furniture that we are keeping in the store. We are making it ourselves because we have plans for that as well. So there are a lot of things which are happening. I'm a design person. I don't, like, clothing was the easiest way to get in, but I want to do much more. So that is my exploration as well, what we can do. So there are all these things in motion and we are still figuring out how to run with the team because we want to run for a longer time. So that is happening and it'll drop, man. Like a lot of things will come out this month and then the next month, of course. So it'll come in motion.
Yeah,
give us some
you can
time.
find all the drops here.
Yeah, it'll be available here in Mumbai at Projekt Street Store. Would you consider this man streetwear audience? No, right? Yeah, but he is. Okay, he is. Now the difference is, with most brands, it's mostly, even if you walk the streets, right? And I've seen so many brand owners who do not wear their products. Okay, that is the worst thing they can do. And then if you walk the streets, you see people, if you talk to them about streetwear, they still have this perception that, oh, it's loud, or it's funky, or it's any of all those things. Okay. But it's not. Like, this guy, anybody who gets art, because my products are, I have divided into two. There is upcycled products, which gives like life to previously owned products. And there is signature line where we tell stories or we talk about designs, and that's our conversation. So this guy, understands art. There was this person who's a good friend of mine who's in I think his mid-40s. He's a absolutely killer photographer, and he is into architecture a lot. So he told me, we were sitting down. He said, "Ki, I want you to make something for me." And I said, "What?" Like, "Give me something. I will do the custom work for you." And he said, "I am a fan of Chandigarh furniture." And then he told me everything about Chandigarh furniture, the entire thing, the architect Le Corbusier behind it, and how he came, and how it's. I read an article where it said it's the second Kohinoor that India lost, if you read about it. So, coming from him, that's what he gave me, the story, and then I designed like a t-shirt and a pair of pants for him, based on this story. And he wears it like so proudly, wherever he goes for his shoots, right? So, anybody who gets art is my audience. And I just need to, I'm working on this. Like, there are two aspects of business. One is production, which covers like the design, the making of it, the inventory, and all of that. And then there is selling part, which covers like marketing, presentation, and all of those things. I'm being honest, we have never worked on the second part. We suck at the second part. We have never done it. Okay, now we have a person who takes care of our photo shoots and all of that. Before that, it was just me shooting on camera and putting it out, because the product was so good that we never needed to be out there and trying to sell it. People would just come, and because we have taken care of our people, we like to like keep them for as much time as possible. Because I've also seen Toffle as therapy for these like, what is it called? People who like shop, like shopaholics. No, but there is a different word for it. Like, so we have come to like we stop them. Like, this is where they stop. Like they come here and we sort of educate them on how you don't need compulsive bias. We don't need to be, that you don't need to, because it's a marketing gig. Like, oh, this is gonna run out and this is gonna go out of stock and all of this. Like, relax, man. Like, it's here. If you like the product, if you relate with the story, you can have it like whenever you want. Like, it's fine. Like, we'll take care of you. So now we're working towards it. Now I think I'm still sort of figuring out the brand's language and how we want to present things. We are working on making those short films. So let's see how that goes.
So yeah, I was asking you, can you tell us a bit more about the upcoming studio of Toffle?
Oh, the upcoming studio.
Yes, and the whole story behind it, the journey behind it, and everything. I know you've been doing, carving it out yourselves and stuff.
Yeah.
So just throw a light on that.
Okay, so the first store we ever did was in Hoskas, and it was a purely retail store for us to understand how retail works for our brand and with our people. And we had a great time there. And then it was time to like move into a bigger space, to have a space for the team, to have like a lot more things which I needed. I never saw this as a retail space, but in particular, I saw this as my studio. I have a projector, which like I have a PS5. It plays, like, it has a big ass wall to play and like to chill there, to watch movies, to like consume good content. Then I have all these windows which I wanted. So I got a big hall, and then I sort of designed it. Like, I sat with my friend who's an architect and an interior designer. I told him like what all things I want, how I want them. I don't want it to be cement and like that brutal architecture which most brands go with. I want it to be me. So first of all, give me like a blank canvas, make it like all white, and I did like the bare minimums which were required and I've always believed in like I don't look for perfections. Like, I am okay with like if it's not perfect towards like society norms, but it's good to me, looks great to me. I've kept it there, and now I have plans to like paint it myself. I have plans to carve the flooring myself. It's a wooden flooring, and I want to carve a few things there. I want to carve the wall a little bit. Have a different lighting system in place, because in the evening it's a completely different vibe. I've added the lighting accordingly. We're still figuring out a few things, and it's going to be a very different experience. Like, we have a space in the back which is for our team to sit and design and work on all those creative projects. Then we have our manufacturing unit there itself. So that's a pretty nice space. Anybody can come in and like see we want to run this as a lab more than a factory. And then we have our studio where it'll be eventually when we leave, we have a 5-year lease. Eventually we have to like either renew it or leave. I would want it to become like a art museum altogether. For people to come in and see, okay, this was day one. I told Bridge like we are never going to repaint this. We have done it once. And now anything that falls, anything that happens, we'll just take care of it, we'll blend it in the design. We're not never gonna like paint it over. Like 5 years should reflect in this space.
Entire journey of the space.
Yeah, so that's the idea. And now let's see how it goes.
Sure, it's going to be great. And is it going to be like people can come through the studio anytime, or is just going to be more for the team right now?
I think right now we're gonna start with like invite thing. Like you can book an appointment and come in because I want to be there when you come, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Like right now we have plenty on our plate, so we'll try to do our best because we don't want to compromise on the experience that these guys have. Like even when we didn't open, so we have had the space for a few months now, and for some reason Bridge listed it on Google, so people started coming in, and he thought like, no, who would come? Like, and people started coming in when it was not ready, and it became so awkward for me. Like, what do I do? Like, okay, then no, of course not. We have to have them, and then I helped them. We spoke, gave them as much time as I could. And then I spoke with Bridge, like, you should change that. And then he didn't. He said, like, this will motivate us to get this started faster. So we're not changing it.
Yeah, I can expect Bridge to be doing that. Yeah, that brings me to my last question. Anything that you want to say about the collaboration with Projekt Street and how it has been so far, and anything?
Yeah. First of all, I've really enjoyed my time here. I've loved the store. I am very happy that we guys are friends. Yeah. And yeah, it's a very different approach which you guys have. I was waiting for this. Like, okay, some store will happen who will think about the brand, who would believe in the brand so much that they would be okay with like, getting their products here in a way that we have. And that's how things should be, and that's the way to move forward. You cannot be like, play on brands risk all the time. Like you cannot do that. The scene is not that small anymore, and you cannot like hide behind that anymore. And now it's about what we do here, what we build here, and I look forward to that. I'm sure like you guys have plans, and the things that you have planned, we'll come up with that. I'm always here to help. You can always, whenever I come to Mumbai, anybody who wants to come or meet or anything will find me here.
Okay, so I've been a fan since 2019, I guess, when I saw your ads on Instagram. So I was just looking into like, कोई तो अच्छा jeans बनाता होगा Indian streetwear में. मैं क्यों हमेशा Levi's या Carhartt पहनूं? So I saw Toffle, I saw those moving videos where model used to turn left, right, and I was like, which brand is this? And I was like, okay, let's go and see. Then I heard the name Toffle. Then I was like, इसको pronounce कैसे करते? Toffee या Toff या Toffle. So I asked my dad कि how to pronounce this. So he was like, L-E है तो Toffle ही होगा, for sure. So then that was the day. Then उसके बाद slowly I never thought that we will do this for sure. Thanks to my wife to take me to Europe and show me the actual like how people actually dress up over there. And as a fitness guy, we love to basically walk a lot. So हम लोग काफ़ी बोलते हैं ना कि ये लोग आवारा हैं, मतलब घूमना ही है, बैठना है नहीं. तो हम लोग वैसे थे, एक वैंडरर्स राइट. सो एक ड्रिंक लिया, दूसरे पीते पीते हम लोग घूम रहे थे. तो प्रोटीन शेक बियर. सो फिर जस्ट देखते देखते फिर हमने सोचा कि लेट्स डू समथिंग विद द इंडियन स्ट्रीट वेयर, बिकॉज आई हैव सीन मैनी प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ देयर एंड सीन मैनी पीपल आर डूइंग सो गुड. व्हाई नॉट? इफ फॉरेन streetwears can come to India, why not Indian streetwear also go? Because market बहुत बड़ा है बाहर. और लोगों को वहाँ पर भी आई एम श्योर दे आर वेटिंग समथिंग डिफरेंट टू सी. इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट द ओल्ड विंटेज लिवाइस जीन्स और Carhartt or Dickies or something like that. Obviously we can do something. Then suddenly ढाबा में हम लोग खाना खा रहे थे and we thought let's do it. I was thinking कि थोड़ा रिस्की है काफ़ी ज़्यादा और I don't know how to execute it. तो my wife said कि रिस्क लेते हैं, रिस्क लेना पड़ेगा. And I like ठीक है चलो डन. Then इतना बड़ा हो जाएगा I never thought.
You've come a long way and there's only one way forward.
Sure. Hope to I see in the community also. I hope people support us and I've been a silent person in this community as a sneakerhead, and I've seen the market properly, how it's going, what people actually like, what don't like. So that's why you can see different brands over here, and I'm sure you will not get this collection anywhere in the market in India for sure.
Because it's an aggregator's job, right? Whatever you see in that store, is what this man and this lady likes to wear. This is what they believe in. This is what they like. So that's what you will find. So you also have to know these guys. This is not just a store. I hope when you come here, you get to meet them, you get to speak with them, you understand their vision, and you become like friends with them. That's how things should be, I believe. And
yes, right, correct. And you need to basically get connected to the brands if you like that. That's why if you're opening up any store or something, keep those brands which you actually connect to. Don't keep it just for the marketplace, because this is not a marketplace. This is something else which we have built. And just to end, I hope this collaboration will get us a lot of success for Toffle and for Projekt Street for sure. And we will make this big for sure.
yeah, bro. There's one thing that I wanted to say. When he said he was looking for a brand who makes good denims. Toffle is sort of known for their denims and jackets, and I just wanted to bring this out. Like, this is what I tell people: if you're starting a brand, if you want to make denims, you should think of like making better denims than Toffle. If you're making t-shirts or jackets, anything, like make it better, do it better than Toffle. I mean, I'm only talking about myself and my brand. So if there's someone out there starting something, do it better than us and show us how to get there, like how it can be done better. That's the way you should think. That's the way you will grow way bigger, and not just be like, because I've had people who come to me and ask me how many sizes we should do, how many colors we should do, what designs will work. It's not like that. Like, you pick something, you do better than the best out there. That's the way it should be. That's all.
Thank you so much.